In a conversation between humans, much information is exchanged effortlessly and without conscious thought. Most of it is meta-information that grounds the conversation so that we can understand each other. Can machines do the same? My name is Johannes Kiesel, and it is my pleasure to present to you our work that has been published in ACM Transactions on Information Systems in 2021. The main point of this paper is that when we converse, when we search, or when we engage in conversational search, we humans provide and exploit meta-information rapidly and effortlessly. This point is not new. It is, one could say, nearly as old as people thinking about conversations or thinking about search. But we felt, among all the different theories of conversation, search and conversational search, this central thought, this common element, can easily be overlooked. But it may be key for a holistic model of conversational search. So, what is conversational search? I am talking here about anomalous states of knowledge that take more than one question and more than one fact to resolve. Argumentative questions like this one are a prime example, but of course, far from the only ones. Could a single answer be enough? Though this answer may, by far, be the most efficient and effective one, assuming it were correct of course, it seems horribly lacking. Indeed, this answer, even if unchanged, is likely more satisfying when between it and the question one assumes half an hour of discussing the pros and cons. For example, the following side questions appear relevant for such a discussion. What implementation of universal basic income does the information seeker refer to? What does the seeker already know about the topic? What are beliefs of the seeker? Which values do they aspire to? What sources do they trust? Where does the information provider's information come from? Is it fact-checked? Is it lacking a certain point of view? Was it just a misunderstanding? And how much time have you left for this discussion? In the paper, we list and categorize 35 concepts from the literature that pertain to such questions. To get an overview of all these meta-information concepts, we propose a categorization based on the usual target of the concept. Some of the targets are more prevalent in non-conversational search, others more in conversational search, but meta-information largely works the same. For example, to resolve questions of misunderstanding, one would likely look at meta-information on the conversation. To disambiguate the query, one would look at meta-information on it. To grasp meta-information, we describe 3 meta-information properties that are central for IR, which I would like to illustrate with these 3 sentences. The first sentence contains information, but it's unclear whether it refers to Michael Jordan, the basketball player, or the computer scientist, or maybe even another one. The second and third sentence also contain information, but information is also meta-information, as they relate, one directly and the other indirectly, to the first sentence. However, this relation is dynamic in the sense that it is only established when all 3 sentences are taken together, or when the recipient already knows the information in the third sentence, or something equivalent. Now that we created this common understanding of meta-information, how to employ it for conversational search systems? Well, we imagine systems that first identify meta-information in an ongoing conversation, second embed this meta-information into a graph as their model of the conversation, and third exploit this graph for the decision how to continue the conversation. Let me illustrate this with one of the 20 examples from the paper. You see here at the top one dialogue excerpt from the SCS dataset of Johann Triebers et al. In a lab study, one person took on the role of the information seeker and got a topic to find information on. They could ask the second person, named here as provider, to control a regular search engine for them, but the 2 persons could only talk to each other. They could not see each other or what the other was doing. In this case, the seeker asked for information on the effectiveness of certain security measures at airports. Below that, you see the QRFA model of Svetlana Vakulenko et al. QRFA says that there are 4 main stages an information-seeking conversation can be in, plus start and end. Simply put, the coloring shows who says something, with query and request being interactions that take initiative, and feedback and answers being reactions. When reading through the excerpt again, can you say whether the speaker is asking something of the other or instead reacting? Sure you can. QRFA is intended to characterize conversations and to detect abnormalities, or, in different view, to tell a system, on a very coarse level, what is expected next and what options are. This is also the goal of meta-information here, though at all levels of detail. Some meta-information might be helpful to identify the QRFA state, and the QRFA state might in turn be helpful to establish other relations. To conclude, in a conversation, much information is exchanged effortlessly and without conscious thought. This exchanged information then relates to each other, making it meta-information, and these relations make a directed graph that models the conversation. We humans process this meta-information effortlessly to understand the conversation. Can we use such graphs to teach systems to do the same? And finally, I would like to thank the SIG-IR community for helping me attending by awarding me with the Student Travel Grant.